All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sunil Verma and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi assures full support to World of Ayurveda, says WHO has announced setting up of Global Centre for Traditional Medicine in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Quad countries are united by democratic values and commitment to a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific. President Ram Nath Kovind to be on a 3-day visit to Purvanchal in Uttar Pradesh from today. Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat to chair a conference of Ministers of States and UTs on Jal Jeevan Mission today. Filing of nominations is on for third phase of assembly elections in West Bengal and Assam and single phase elections in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar to virtually inaugurate Azadi Ke Amrit Mahotsav exhibitions at 6 places today. Cumulative number of COVID vaccine doses administered in the country crosses 2 crore 80 lakh. WHO gives clearance to first single-dose COVID-19 vaccine developed by Johnson & Johnson for emergency use in all countries and for COVAX rollout. National eligibility cum entrance test to be conducted on the 1st of August this year. And in T20 cricket, England beat India by 8 wickets in first T20 match in Ahmedabad. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has assured full support to the world of Ayurveda. He was addressing the Global Ayurveda Festival last evening. Mr. Modi said people are realizing the benefits of Ayurveda and its role in boosting immunity.
On behalf of the government, I assure full support to the world of Ayurveda. India has set up the National Ayush Mission. The National Ayush Mission has been started to promote Ayush medical system through cost-effective Ayush services. It is also working to strengthen educational system. It is also facilitate the enforcement of quality control for Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, homeopathy, drugs and ensuring sustainable availability of raw materials. The government is undertaking various quality control measures as well. Our policy regarding Ayurveda and other Indian systems of medicine is already aligned with the Traditional Medicine Strategy 2014-2023 of World Health Organization.
He said the current situation presents a right time for Ayurveda and traditional medicines to become even more popular globally.
The current situation presents a right time for Ayurveda and traditional medicines to become even more popular globally. There is growing interest towards them. The world is seeing how modern and traditional medicine both are important to further wellness. People are realizing the benefits of Ayurveda and its role in boosting immunity. People are making Kada, Basil, Black Pepper integrate parts of their lives.
Mr. Modi added that the WHO has also announced the setting up of the Global Centre for Traditional Medicine in India, and students from various countries are coming to India to study Ayurveda and traditional medicines. He said, this is the ideal time to think about worldwide wellness. The Prime Minister said the National Ayush Mission has been started to promote Ayush medical system through cost-effective services. Mr. Modi added, Ayurveda takes care of many aspects and it could rightly be described as holistic human science. He also said, from plants to plates and from matters of physical strength to mental well-being, the impact and influence of Ayurveda and traditional medicine is immense.
I'm glad to be speaking at the 4th Global Ayurveda Festival. It is wonderful to note that many experts are going to be sharing their views and experiences. The numbers of countries being represented is about 25. These are great signs. It shows a growing interest towards Ayurveda and traditional forms of medicine. From this forum, I would like to appreciate the efforts of all those who are working on Ayurveda across the world. Their passion and persistence will benefit the entire humanity.
He said India offers wellness tourism, and at the core of it is the principle of treat illness for wellness.
At the core of wellness tourism is the principle of treat illness for the wellness. When I talk about wellness tourism, its strongest pillar is Ayurveda and traditional medicine. Imagine yourself getting a detox in a lush green surroundings in the beautiful state of Kerala. Imagine yourself performing yoga by a gushing river by the mountain means in Uttarakhand. Imagine yourself in the middle of the lush green forest of the northeast. If your life's deadlines and timelines are stressing you out, it is time to tap into the timeless culture of India. Whenever you want to treat your body or a retreat for your mind, come to India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterated India's commitment to a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific in line with its vision of Sagar, security and growth for all in the region at the first Quad Summit. In a series of tweets, the Prime Minister said discussions on vaccines, climate change and emerging technologies made the Quad a positive force for global good and for peace, stability and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific. Mr. Modi said the countries launched a landmark Quad partnership to ensure accessibility of safe COVID-19 vaccines. He also said India's formidable vaccine production capacity will be expanded with support from Japan, the US and Australia to assist countries in the Indo-Pacific region.
It is good to be among the friends. I thank President Biden for this initiative. Excellencies, we are united by our democratic values and our commitment to a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific. Our agenda covering areas like vaccines, climate change and emerging technology make the Quad a force for global good. I see this positive vision as an extension of India's ancient philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which regards the world as one family. We will work together closer than ever before for advancing our shared values and promoting a secure, stable and prosperous Indo-Pacific.
Quad countries have expressed commitment to promoting a free, open rules-based order rooted in international law to advance security and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific and beyond. The Quad leaders, in a joint statement issued after the first ever Quad summit yesterday, said they support the rule of law, freedom of navigation and overflight, peaceful resolution of disputes, democratic values and territorial integrity. They reaffirmed strong support for ASEAN's unity and centrality as well as the ASEAN outlook on the Indo-Pacific. The joint statement said the Quad seeks to uphold peace and prosperity and strengthen democratic resilience based on universal values. The Quad leaders reaffirmed commitment to quadrilateral cooperation between Australia, India, Japan and the United States. They stated that they are united in a shared vision for the free and open Indo-Pacific. They also pledged to respond to the economic and health impacts of COVID-19, combat climate change, and address shared challenges including in cyberspace, critical technologies, counter-terrorism, and quality infrastructure investment.
President Ram Nath Kovind will be on a 3-day visit to Purvanchal in Uttar Pradesh. During his visit, he will participate in many programs in Sonbhadra and Mirzapur districts. Elaborate security arrangements have been made in and around the program venues. More from our Varanasi correspondent.
After reaching the legendary town Kashi this afternoon, the President Ramnath Kovind will pay obeisance and perform pujan at the Baba Vishwanath temple. In the evening, he will witness the world-famous Ganga Aarti at Dashashmekh Ghat on the banks of pious river Maganges. Tomorrow, the President will attend the Banvasi Samagam program at Chapki of Sonbhadra district and dedicate the newly constructed building of Seva Kunj Ashram there. The President is also scheduled to visit the Mirzapur district tomorrow afternoon and pay obeisance to Ma Vindhyavasini Devi. MS Yadav, Area News, Varanasi.
Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat will be chairing a conference of states and UT's ministers on Jal Jeevan Mission today and review the progress made under the mission. The conference is being organized to discuss planning, implementation and progress made so far, as well as the way forward, so that the remaining households in villages get tap water connections at the earliest. The mission is a flagship program of the Centre for providing tap water connection in every rural household by 2024. Since announcement of Jal Jeevan Mission on the 15th of August 2019, significant progress has been made across the country. So far, more than 3.79 crore rural households have been provided with tap water connections.
The Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Nitin Gadkari, yesterday said, within 5 years, India will be a top manufacturing hub for automobile in the world. While addressing a webinar on Atmanirbhar Bharat, opportunities in solar and MSME, Mr. Gadkari said the government is committed to promote renewable energy resources in the country, especially in the MSME sector. The webinar was organized by Indian People's Forum in the UAE. The minister further said the MSMEs with a good track record are now being encouraged for capital market. He also said there is a huge opportunity for investment in scrapping policy and India has tremendous potential and capacity for electricity generation. The solar power rate in India is 2.40 rupees per unit and commercial rate of power is 11 rupees per unit, and the cheap power generated through solar energy can be used for automobiles and other developmental works, he added. The minister invited foreign investors to invest in Indian MSMEs and expressed hope that this will provide a number of opportunities to the sector to become the world's largest manufacturing hub. Terming MSME sector as the backbone of the Indian economy, Mr. Gadkari said it contributes around 30% in the country's GDP and provides employment to over 10 crore people.
In Assam, 269 candidates are in the fray in the first phase of polls to be held on 27th of this month. Official sources said 10 candidates have withdrawn their nomination papers. More from our correspondent.
Several heavyweight candidates are in the fray in the first phase of polls in Assam. Chief Minister and senior BJP leader Sarvanand Sonowal, President of Assam Gana Parishad Atul Bora, State Congress President Ripun Bora, Assam Jatiya Parishad President Lurinjyoti Gogoi, and President of Raijor Dal Akhil Gogoi would contest in this phase. The Congress and the BJP have declared the list of star campaigners. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Party President JP Nadda, Union Ministers and senior leaders Rajnath Singh and Amit Shah are some of the star campaigners for the BJP. For the Congress, Sonia Gandhi, former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, senior leaders Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi would campaign for the party candidates. Today, Union Minister and senior leader Smriti Irani will hold rallies in Upper Assam. Meanwhile, the nomination process for the second phase of polls concluded yesterday. 202 candidates filed nomination papers till the last report came in. Manas Pradeep Sharma, AR News, Guwahati.
In Tamil Nadu, filing of nominations for the 16th Assembly elections began yesterday. On the first day, 59 male contestants and 1 female contestant filed their nominations in various constituencies. Nayanar Nagendran, a former AIADMK minister now in BJP, filed his nomination in Tirunelveli yesterday, even before the party announced the list of contestants. Saturday and Sunday are holidays. Nominations will end on the 19th, and the last date for withdrawal will be on the 22nd of this month. The state will go to polls in a single phase on the 6th of April. A report.
The Election Commission has appointed 2 special observers for expenditure monitoring of individuals and parties. 2 other observers to monitor as general observers as special police observers for the Legislative Assembly elections of both Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Due to COVID-19 regulations, contestants are allowed to bring only 2 persons while filing nominations. The vehicles accompanying the contestants are also restricted. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
In West Bengal, BJP candidate Shubhendu Adhikari has filed his nomination from Nondigram constituency. Sanyukt Morcha-backed CPIM candidate Meenakshi Mukherjee also submitted her nomination papers yesterday. It may be noted that Chief Minister of West Bengal and Trinamool Congress leader Mamata Banerjee is contesting from Nondigram seat. Polling will be held in the seat along with 29 other constituencies in the second phase on 1st of April. Chief Minister Banerjee is undergoing treatment at the SSKM hospital in Kolkata after being injured in Nondigram. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi assures full support to World of Ayurveda, says WHO has announced setting up a global centre for traditional medicine in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Quad countries are united by democratic values and commitment to a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific. President Ramnath Kovind to be on a 3-day visit to Purvanchal in Uttar Pradesh from today. Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat to chair a conference of ministers of states and UTs on Jal Jeevan Mission today. Filing of nominations is on for third phase of assembly elections in West Bengal and Assam and single-phase elections in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar to virtually inaugurate Azadi Ke Amrit Mahotsav exhibitions at 6 places today. Cumulative number of COVID vaccine doses administered in the country crosses 2 crore 80 lakh. WHO gives clearance to first single-dose COVID-19 vaccine developed by Johnson & Johnson for emergency use in all countries and for COVAX roll-out. National eligibility cum entrance test to be conducted on the 1st of August this year. And in T20 cricket, England beat India by 8 wickets in the first T20 match in Ahmedabad. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
The Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Shri Prakash Javadekar, will virtually inaugurate exhibitions at 6 places today. The 6 places are Bangalore, Pune, Bhubaneswar, Patna, Moirang district in Manipur and Samba district in Jammu and Kashmir. In addition, Shri Prakash Javadekar will also inaugurate an exhibition at the National Media Centre in New Delhi today. The exhibitions are being organized in pursuance of the vision of the Prime Minister and to contribute to the festival fervour to the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav as part of India's 75th Independence Day celebrations. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav commenced yesterday, 75 weeks prior to Independence Day 2022, and would continue till Independence Day 2023. Earlier, the Prime Minister had said that the festival of 75 years of independence would be a festival in which the spirit of freedom struggle, tribute to the martyrs and their pledge to create India would be experienced.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, District Development Council delegates yesterday met Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha at Raj Bhavan, Jammu. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that the interaction was held in a pleasant and amicable atmosphere. Reiterating government's commitment to safeguarding the interests of DDC representatives, the LG observed that the 3-tier Panchayati Raj system was established to empower the grassroots democracy. He told the DDC members that now the true democracy is flourishing in the UT, which is not merely about governance, but feeling of fraternity, brotherhood and attitude of respect and reverence towards each other. The delegation comprised of DDC chairpersons, vice chairpersons and members. Chief Secretary BVR Subramaniam, Principal Secretary PDD Rohit Khansal and Secretary Department of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj Sheetal Nanda were also present during the interaction. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the National Investigation Agency NIA yesterday recovered 91 lakh rupees from an agricultural field from Gurwal village of Samba district. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that the cash concealed in a pit was recovered at the instance of an accused, Ramesh Kumar, who was arrested earlier this month in a narco-terrorism case. The NIA said it recovered proceeds of narcotics yesterday, and the investigation revealed that the arrested accused had received the cash proceeds of drugs from narco smugglers based in Kashmir Valley for sale as well as for further channelization to different terrorist entities.
In Uttarakhand, all the cases registered again under Epidemic Diseases Act and the Disaster Management Act for violation of COVID-19 guidelines during the lockdown will be withdrawn. Briefing the media about the decisions taken in the cabinet meeting last evening in Dehradun, Chief Secretary Om Prakash said that the State Cabinet had also decided that the task of the authorities formed in 2016 to approve building maps will be suspended and the map approval will be done as before. National Eligibility cum Entrance Test will be conducted on the 1st of August this year. NEET UG 2021 will be conducted in 11 languages. National Testing Agency yesterday informed that the detailed information related to the test will be provided shortly. The agency advised the candidates to keep visiting the website nta.ac.in and ntaneet.nic.in for further details.
The Health Ministry has said that the cumulative number of COVID vaccine doses administered in the country crossed 2 crore 80 lakh till last evening. They include 72,84,406 health workers who have taken the first dose and 41,76,446 healthcare workers who received the second dose of vaccines. Besides, over 72,15,000 frontline workers got the first dose and over 9,28,000 took the second dose. The ministry also said 71,69,695 beneficiaries above 60 years of age and as many as 12,30,704 beneficiaries aged 45 and above with specific comorbidities got the first dose of vaccine. Total 18,40,897 vaccine doses were given till 8 p.m. yesterday, the 56th day of nationwide COVID-19 vaccination. In Gujarat, more than 1,49,000 persons were vaccinated against COVID-19 yesterday. Quoting official sources, AIR Ahmedabad correspondent reports that more than 18,38,000 persons have been given the first dose, while more than 4,61,000 persons have been given the second dose. According to sources, not a single instance of any side effect has been reported so far. Meanwhile, the new cases of COVID-19 infection are increasing in the state. We have more from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Following the sudden spike in the fresh cases of COVID-19 in the state, Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani reviewed the situation in a core committee meeting yesterday. He also held video conference with the municipal commissioners of Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Surat and Rajkot and asked for immediate action for the patients of COVID-19. Meanwhile, 715 new cases of COVID-19 reported during the last 24 hours, while 495 patients have been discharged from the hospitals after recovery. At present, Gujarat has 4,006 active cases of COVID-19, out of which 51 patients are on ventilator. Maximum 196 new cases reported from Surat yesterday. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Maharashtra reported 15,817 new cases of coronavirus, taking the state's tally of total cases to 22.82 lakh. In the wake of a sudden spike in coronavirus cases, a night curfew has been imposed in Pune, whereas a complete lockdown has been imposed in Parbhani. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Pune district has been recording the highest single-day jump in Maharashtra for the past few days, clocking up a daily average spike of more than 2,000 cases. According to the new set of restrictions, schools and colleges in Pune will remain closed till 31st March. Hotels and restaurants will be allowed to function at 50% of their total capacity till 10 p.m. While a night curfew has been imposed in Pune, a complete lockdown has been imposed in Parbhani up to Monday morning 6 a.m. According to the state's public health department, 11,344 patients were discharged yesterday, taking the total number of recoveries to 21.17 lakh. With 56 fatalities, the state's death toll has risen to 52,723. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Odisha, close to 78,000 beneficiaries were vaccinated against COVID-19 yesterday. Over 47,000 senior citizens received the vaccines at 650 session sites across the state. A report from our correspondent.
With more number of people above 60 years of age stepping into the vaccination centers, the state government has targeted to inoculate 1 lakh senior citizens per day. Meanwhile, the state health administration is keeping a close watch on the COVID-19 trajectory in the state, particularly in view of the rising cases elsewhere. The proactive measures taken by the state for COVID containment include jacking up everyday sample tests and tracking passengers coming from the high-risk states. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
The World Health Organization has given clearance yesterday to the COVID-19 vaccine developed by Johnson & Johnson for emergency use in all countries and for COVAX rollout. The decision comes a day after the European Medicines Agency's authorization. WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said, "Every new, safe and effective tool against COVID-19 is another step closer to controlling the pandemic." The vaccine from Johnson & Johnson is the first to be listed by WHO as a single-dose shot, which should facilitate vaccination logistics in all countries, the agency said. WHO will convene its Strategic Advisory Group on immunization experts next week to formulate recommendations on the use of the vaccine. World Health Organization has said that countries should not stop using AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine over fears it causes blood clots, as there is no indication this is true. WHO spokeswoman WHO spokeswoman Dr. Margaret Harris said there was no link between the jab and an increased risk of developing a clot. Dr. Harris said that it was an excellent vaccine and should continue to be used. The WHO is aware of blood clot concerns linked to a specific batch of AstraZeneca Oxford COVID-19 vaccine, but maintained that to date, no one has died from any coronavirus vaccine, she added. Dr. Harris noted WHO's Independent Expert Global Advisory Board, SAGE, is currently assessing reports on the AstraZeneca vaccine and that the findings would be made public as soon as they are available. The development comes after several European countries suspended the rollout of the jab as a precaution. Around 5 million Europeans have already received the AstraZeneca jab.
US President Joe Biden has said he's hopeful that America can mark independence from COVID-19 on July the 4th if people get vaccinated. In his first televised primetime address as the president, Mr. Biden said he would order states to make all adults eligible for vaccinations by May the 1st. Current measures prioritize people by age or health condition. Mr. Biden was speaking exactly a year to the day after the outbreak was classified a global pandemic. India's permanent representative to the United Nations, T.S. Tirumurti, has said that the increasing tendency to politicize humanitarian situations is unfortunate. He said there is an urgent need for the donor community to scale up assistance to conflict-affected countries. Speaking at the UNSC Open Debate on Conflict and Food Security yesterday, Mr. Tirumurti said nations must resist linking developmental aid with progress in the political process, as this will only enhance food insecurity in conflict situations.
In cricket, England beat India by 8 wickets in the first T20 match at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad last night. England now leads 5-match series 1-0. The second T20 will be played tomorrow at the same venue.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi will have a maximum temperature of 32 degrees Celsius. The minimum temperature recorded was 17 degrees. Mumbai will have a mainly clear sky. The maximum temperature will be around 33 degrees Celsius, while the minimum temperature was 21 degrees. Chennai will have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will rise up to 34 degrees Celsius from a minimum of 23 degrees.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. The first ever Quad Leadership Summit is the top news in most dailies. Modi, Biden, others push for Quad's new vaccine initiative, headlines the Asian Age. According to the Quad Vaccine Initiative revealed at the summit, India will make US vaccines with Japan funds, Australia Logistics notes, the Indian Express. Quad leaders for open, free Indo-Pacific, writes the Hindu. The Tribune quotes Prime Minister Modi as saying that Quad force is for global good. The Pioneer headlines, Quad pillar of stability in region, says Modi.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi assures full support to World of Ayurveda, says WHO has announced setting up of Global Centre for Traditional Medicine in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Quad countries are united by democratic values and commitment to a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific. President Ram Nath Kovind to be on a 3-day visit to Purvanchal in Uttar Pradesh from today. Jal Shakti Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat to chair a conference of ministers of states and UTs on Jal Jeevan Mission today. Filing of nominations is on for third phase of assembly elections in West Bengal and Assam, and single-phase elections in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar to virtually inaugurate Azadi Ke Amrit Mahotsav exhibitions at 6 places today. Cumulative number of COVID vaccines doses administered in the country crosses 2 crore 80 lakh. WHO gives clearance to first single-dose COVID-19 vaccine developed by Johnson & Johnson for emergency use in all countries and for COVAX rollout. National eligibility cum entrance test to be conducted on the 1st of August this year. And in T20 cricket, England beat India by 8 wickets in first T20 match in Ahmedabad. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.